He cheated, humiliated me, and told his friends I'd never make it. My name is Sophie Navarro, and the moment those words sank in, a fire ignited within me. It was a sweltering July night in 2025, the Austin, Texas skyline glowing beyond my apartment window, where I'd retreated after the breakup that shattered my world. I was 29, a driven woman with a knack for digital marketing and a fledgling agency, Navarro Pulse, earning $5,000 monthly. My ex, Ryan Kessler, a smug software engineer at TechTrend Innovations, had ended our 2-year relationship with a public confession at a bar, flaunting his new fling while his buddies laughed. "You'll never find better," he'd sneered, his words cutting deeper than the betrayal. The apartment felt suffocating. Photos of us on the mantel, his jacket still draped over a chair, when I decided to prove him wrong. That night, alone with my laptop's hum, I drafted a plan fueled by rage and resolve. The journey ahead would turn his arrogance into my triumph. The betrayal was a searing wound. Ryan had been my partner. Late-night coding sessions blending with my marketing pitches, weekend hikes along the Colorado River, dreams of building something together. His charm had masked his infidelity, revealed when a mutual friend sent me screenshots of his texts, bragging about his upgrade. The humiliation stung worse than the breakup. His friends' jeers at the bar, the whispers at networking events, my confidence crumbling. I was an only child, raised by a single mother who taught me resilience, and now that strength surged, the pain sparked a resolve. I'd rise above him, outshine his world, and reclaim my worth. I took my laptop to the agency office, a small space above a coffee shop filled with the scent of roasted beans, managing Navarro Pulse with renewed vigor. By August 2025, I'd saved $14,000 from aggressive client wins, my focus sharpening with every campaign. The journey was grueling. I balanced marketing and strategy, sleeping 4 hours a night, my eyes strained from late-night analytics. I'd built Navarro Pulse from freelance gigs, landing clients in Austin's tech scene, now valued at $90,000. The betrayal shaped a plan. I'd grow my agency, target TechTrend, and turn Ryan's dismissal into my leverage. I hired a business consultant, costing $3,000, my savings hitting $17,000 by September 2025. I worked 60-hour weeks, pitching to bigger clients, earning a $2,000 bonus from a startup deal, my determination hardening with each step. Crafting my comeback took precision. I analyzed TechTrend's market, Ryan's employer, a mid-sized firm with $50 million revenue, identifying weaknesses in their digital outreach. I hired the consultant, Marcus Reed, and gathered data: their outdated website, client complaints, Ryan's role in a failing project. My savings rose to $20,000, and I invested $4,500 in a targeted ad campaign, projecting $10,000 returns. I visited a tech expo on September 10, 2025, networking with investors, my pitch polished. A vendor, noting my intensity, offered leads, but Ryan's presence, smirking from a booth, distracted me. Doubts crept in. Could I outmaneuver him? Would his influence block me? I pressed on, mapping a takeover strategy on a whiteboard, the ink a symbol of my resolve. The confrontation loomed. I invited Marcus to my office on September 15, 2025, my heart thudding. He arrived, his briefcase heavy with reports. I spread the data: TechTrend's vulnerabilities, Ryan's project flops. "You can buy them out," Marcus said, his voice confident. "Their stock's undervalued." I called a former colleague, Tara, who'd left TechTrend, demanding insight. She visited, her face grim, the data in my hands. "Ryan's untouchable there," she warned. "But their CEO's desperate." The truth was daunting, opportunity mixed with risk fueling my fire. The shift was electrifying. I expanded Navarro Pulse, securing a $7,000 contract with a gaming company for a launch campaign, my savings climbing to $24,000. My career valuation hit $120,000, but the rivalry consumed me. Tara called, cautioning about Ryan's allies, but I hung up, her worry a hurdle. The agency thrived, booking $3,500 in new clients. My focus turned to acquisition, launching a Pulse takeover crowdfunding pitch, earning $2,000 in pledges. But tension brewed. A rival marketer, Greg Larson, began undercutting my bids, his tone smug, his campaigns mirroring mine. I uncovered his tie to Ryan, old frat brothers, costing me a $3,000 deal. A heatwave hit Austin, overloading my office AC, forcing a shutdown. I tensed. Was this Greg's sabotage or nature's test? Standing amid the sweltering room, the takeover plan in hand, I felt Ryan's taunt and a rising challenge. What was next? The sweltering office and Greg Larson's undercut bids lingered in my mind as I stood in my Austin agency, the Texas sun beating down on the glass facade. The thrill of targeting tech trend innovations, Ryan Kessler's employer, backed by the Pulse takeover pitch, felt like a fragile edge against this rising tide. My fingers traced the overheated laptop, Ryan's taunting voice from that bar night a stark contrast to my progress. The police check on the AC failure was deemed weather-related, Marcus Reed's strategy a flickering hope. Was Greg sabotaging me, leveraging his frat bond with Ryan? Or was the heatwave a random blow, testing my resolve? My pulse quickened, but I steadied myself. The crowdfunding earned $2,500 monthly, my savings at $24,000, and Navarro Pulse thrived with $3,800 monthly from clients. Yet the challenge hinted at a deeper rivalry. I saved the failed campaign data, determined to push forward, and called Marcus, his voice a steadying force. "Keep climbing," he said. "We'll outmaneuver them." I nodded, plotting my next move. The next morning, I met Marcus at a co-working space near Lady Bird Lake, the scent of fresh coffee blending with my focus. His keen eyes scanned the AC repair bill and Greg's bid sheets. "This is calculated pressure," he said, his tablet glowing with charts. "Scale your pitch and fortify your team. Tech trends the target." I agreed, my mind racing. I contacted venture capitalists, launching a Rise Above investment drive to fund the takeover, costing $5,000 and dipping my savings to $19,000. At my agency, I briefed my team, 3 marketers, a tech specialist. In the conference room, the air still warm from the heatwave. "We're challenged," I explained, showing the evidence. Their faces set with resolve, they committed to the fight. My business valuation hit $150,000, but the stakes rose with every pitch. My ascent intensified. I expanded Navarro Pulse, securing a $8,000 contract with a tech conference for a digital overhaul, and invested $6,000 in market analysis software, projecting $12,000 returns. My savings climbed to $21,000, and I upgraded the office with industrial fans, working 18-hour days to refine the takeover plan amid the agency's buzz. Tara called, her voice laced with worry, urging me to reconsider, but I hung up, her caution a hurdle. The conference deal added $4,000 monthly, boosting my momentum. Marcus's update unsettled me. Greg had been seen at TechTrends HQ, his campaigns now targeting my clients, and his alliance with Ryan fueled his interference. "He's protecting Ryan's ego," Marcus said. "But their stock's dipping." The rivalry burned in my mind, a fire I couldn't quench. The pressure escalated a week later. A client meeting was disrupted. Greg's team poached my lead, leaving a mocking email. "Stick to small leagues." No threat, just a sting. My stomach tightened. I called Marcus, who suggested a public challenge to expose Greg's tactics. I reinforced the office, spending $3,200 on security cameras, and hired a part-time assistant, a sharp woman named Lila. The police noted the email, Greg's IP, but no legal recourse, while Marcus traced his client network, hinting at a coordinated move. Paranoia crept in, every call a potential ambush, yet I refused to yield. I leveraged the investment drive's buzz, launching a Pulse Live webinar series that booked $4,500, lifting my income. Greg confronted me, calling from his office, his tone smug. "Sophie, you're out of your depth," he taunted. "Back off." I hung up, but curiosity gnawed. Marcus dug deeper, uncovering Greg's past mentorship under Ryan at TechTrend, a bond forged in college pranks. "He's Ryan's shield," Marcus warned. I faced Greg at a networking event, Lila nearby. "Why undermine me?" I demanded. He smirked. "Ryan's worth it." I left, his loyalty a riddle, but the mentorship hinted at a deeper plot. I mounted a counterstrike. With Marcus's help, I streamed the webinar, showcasing my agency's wins against Greg's poaching, drawing 1,200 viewers. I boosted my research, securing a $10,000 contract with a startup accelerator, pushing my valuation to $180,000. The accelerator's team monitored my office, easing my nerves. But tension mounted. A webinar was cut short. Power surge, Greg's laughter audible. The police logged it, but proof was thin. I called Marcus, who suggested a personal angle given Tara's warnings. The stream gained traction. I compiled evidence. Marcus's reports, Greg's email, event footage. Working late to refine it, my office lit by a desk lamp. Greg offered a $9,000 deal to end the webinars. Let's call it even, he pressed over a tense call. No, I told Marcus. I want tech trend. The next live event arrived. A virtual crowd of 1,800. Greg scowled as I revealed his client steals, Ryan's name surfacing. The chat exploded, viewers rallied, and Greg's reputation dipped. As I signed off, he muttered, "You'll pay for this." That night, a dust storm swept Austin, rattling the windows. No message, but a legal notice from TechTrend's counsel slid under the door. Cease targeting or face review. No court, just pressure. I froze. Who sent it? Greg's move? Ryan's defense? The victory felt fragile, a new hurdle rising. I called Marcus, who promised a counter-strategy. My rise was gaining, but the storm was brewing. The legal notice from TechTrend and the dust storm's lingering grit haunted me as I stood in my Austin agency, the city's skyline shimmering through the reinforced windows, the faint hum of traffic a reminder of the world beyond my battle. The thrill of targeting Ryan Kessler's employer, bolstered by the Pulse Live webinar, felt like a precarious foothold against this escalating challenge. My breath hitched as I reread the notice. Cease targeting or face review. The unknown pressure from Ryan's world, a stark contrast to my rising success, the paper crinkling under my grip. The police probe into Greg Larson's interference had slowed. Marcus Reed's plan, a fragile lifeline amid the chaos of my ambition. Who was behind this? Greg's network, fueled by frat loyalty? Ryan's allies, desperate to protect his ego? Or a corporate shield I hadn't yet pierced? I dialed Marcus, my voice steady despite the tension coiling in my chest, the phone cool against my ear. Push through, I said, my words a vow. We're close. He promised unwavering support, his tone resolute, a beacon in the storm. The victory was mine. Greg's reputation dented, my agency soaring with each new contract. But a tempest brewed with every click of my keyboard, the weight of Ryan's taunt still echoing. The next day, I met Marcus at a sleek office in downtown Austin, the scent of polished wood and the distant clatter of a construction site grounding me amid the city's relentless pace. His furrowed brow examined the notice, the webinar logs, and a stray coffee stain on my desk from the late-night prep. "This is corporate pushback," he said, his fingers tapping a tablet, the screen reflecting his strategic mind. "Go all in with the takeover and shield your assets. Ryan's the weak link. His incompetence is their Achilles heel." I nodded, my mind racing with possibilities, the hum of the air conditioning a faint counterpoint to my racing thoughts. I contacted angel investors, planning a Tech Triumph acquisition event to seal the deal, costing $10,000 and dipping my savings to $11,000, a calculated risk that tightened my budget. At the agency, I briefed my team, 4 marketers, a livestream tech, their faces etched with the exhaustion of our shared crusade. In the conference room, the air buzzing with anticipation, the scent of dry erase markers lingering. "We're targeted," I explained, showing the evidence, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. Their faces steeled, but they rallied, vowing loyalty with a nod, their trust a lifeline. My business earned $9,000 monthly, a testament to my rise from Ryan's shadow, but risk loomed like a thunderhead on the horizon. I spent $11,000 on cybersecurity and backup generators, reducing my savings to $0, relying on a business loan to bridge the gap, the financial strain a new layer of pressure. Protection became my armor, a shield forged from necessity. Marcus's first update came that evening, his voice cutting through the static of a stormy line. He'd negotiated with a major investor, eyeing TechTrend's $45 million valuation, its stock down 15% since my campaign began to erode their stability. "Ryan's project flops are the crack," Marcus said, his words crisp with opportunity. "You can buy them out if we time it right." I shared it with my team, their eyes lighting up as we began drafting acquisition terms, the room alive with the scratch of pens and the flicker of laptop screens. Meanwhile, I immersed myself in work, launching a Pulse Power branding series to capitalize on the momentum, booking $20,000 and earning $12,000, the creative surge a balm for my frayed nerves. My savings rose to $12,000 with the loan, my career valuation reaching $220,000, a milestone that felt both exhilarating and daunting. Tara called, her voice thick with emotion, pleading I spare Ryan from the fallout, his regret a thread she clung to, but I hung up, her empathy a burden I couldn't shoulder, the memory of his sneer too fresh. The rivalry cast a shadow over my gains, a dark cloud I refused to let dim my light. A dust storm struck again days later, clogging the office vents with fine grit, halting work for a day as we coughed through the haze, the air thick with irritation. No note, just nature's wrath amplified by the season's unpredictability. The police logged it as environmental, a natural disaster report filed with little follow-up, but I suspected Greg's influence. His glee at my delay during the last storm lingered in my mind, a smirk I couldn't shake. I called Marcus, his voice steady over the crackling line, who suggested a live reveal to force TechTrend's hand and expose their vulnerabilities. I agreed, drafting a statement with a trembling hand. From betrayal to boss, I faced their resistance. I won't break. The event, held virtually from a backup studio, drew 1,800 attendees, their digital presence a sea of eager faces on my screen. My voice wavered as I presented the acquisition pitch, Ryan's project data a damning exhibit. But I stood firm, my spine straightening with each word, the weight of 1,800 eyes fueling my resolve. The story exploded, marketer targets X's firm, a headline that ricocheted across social media, boosting my bookings to $23,000 monthly, though the pressure intensified like the heat of a Texas summer. Marcus's next report deepened the plot, his findings a treasure trove of corporate intrigue. He'd found Ryan's internal emails, panicking about the takeover's impact on his cushy role, and Greg's role in leaking my strategies to TechTrend, a betrayal wrapped in frat loyalty. Ryan's expendable, Marcus said, his tone clinical. The CEO wants out, your offer's their escape hatch. I tensed, the stakes soaring to dizzying heights, my heart pounding with the thrill of victory within reach. I rallied the event community, forming a Pulse Alliance to counter TechTrend's narrative, their support a digital army at my command, strengthening my base against the onslaught. I fortified the agency, adding $8,000 in storm shutters and a ninth guard, a burly figure named Jake who patrolled with quiet efficiency. My savings dipped to $4,000, the loan a tightrope I walked, but the team's spirit held like an unbreakable bond. I trained them in crisis management, turning the office into a fortress of innovation, the hum of generators a constant reminder of our resilience. The sabotage probe gained traction, a slow burn of justice unfolding. My team uncovered Greg's forged client reviews, a smear campaign that cost me $9,000 in lost trust, the numbers a bitter pill to swallow. I reported it to the police, who raided his office with a warrant, seizing devices that might hold the key to his schemes, their footsteps echoing in my mind. Tara visited, her eyes red from tears, confessing, Ryan regrets it, but his pride won't let him quit, he's trapped by his own making. Her words pierced me, a mix of pity and anger, and I passed it to Marcus, adding personal pressure to the corporate chessboard. Greg's influence faded, losing 60% of his pull as clients distanced themselves, his smirk replaced by a scowl. Victory reshaped my world, a phoenix rising from the ashes of Ryan's taunt. My savings hit $50,000 with new contracts, $25,000 monthly from the branding series, a creative outlet that sang with my triumph, and $15,000 from a tech expo deal, a stage to showcase my power. My career valuation soared to $300,000, a number that felt like a badge of honor, etched in the glass of my new downtown hub. I upgraded the agency to a sprawling space, its conference room a symbol of my ascent after months of struggle, the walls adorned with client awards and a view of the Colorado River. I hosted a team celebration, toasting with craft beer under neon lights, the laughter a sweet melody against the memory of Ryan's barroom jeers. But peace wavered when a text arrived, unknown number, you're in too deep. Pull back. The words flashed on my screen, a jolt of adrenaline. I froze, my hand trembling as I showed Marcus. He traced it to a burner phone, likely TechTrend's HR scrambling to protect their sinking ship. I hired a legal advisor, spending $12,000 to navigate the murky waters of corporate retaliation, the cost a small price for my defense. The challenge persisted, a relentless tide testing my resolve. A rival firm outbid me on a high-profile contract, Greg's fingerprints all over the move, whispers of my aggressive tactics spreading like wildfire through the tech grapevine. My website was hacked, a post altered to mock my rise with a crude caricature, the digital assault a personal blow. The police formed a task force, their investigation a slow grind, but leads lagged, the evidence a puzzle with missing pieces. I channeled my determination into work, launching a Rise Fund to empower women in tech. $60,000 of my own money, a legacy born from pain turned into purpose. The fund's launch met with applause at a local summit. The expo contract grew to $17,000 monthly, a steady beat in my financial symphony. I drafted a memoir, Better Than You, working late into the night to frame my story, the click of my keyboard a defiant rhythm against the silence of my past, each chapter a testament to my journey from heartbreak to triumph. Yet the mastermind behind the pressure eluded me, a shadow I couldn't grasp. One afternoon, reviewing security footage, a figure lingered near the agency's entrance, too distant to identify, their silhouette blurred by the heat haze. Marcus enhanced it with a frown, suggesting Greg's aid, possibly with TechTrend's backing, a corporate conspiracy taking shape. The police mapped their network, interrogating low-level employees, but the source remained a shadow, elusive as the desert mirage outside. I added $10,000 in surveillance, drones and motion sensors, fortifying my domain. My savings stabilized at $55,000, the loan repaid, but the vigilance cost weighed on my shoulders, a mantle I wore with pride. Standing in the conference room, the skyline aglow with the promise of dawn, I felt a bittersweet win. TechTrend was within reach, Ryan vulnerable to my next move, but the pullback text loomed like a storm cloud. Was it Greg's revenge, a final jab from his fading power? A corporate shield erected to protect Ryan's pride? Or a deeper player I hadn't yet uncovered? I sipped my coffee, the bitter taste grounding me, the dawn breaking over Austin's horizon, but that figure's presence lingered, a question mark in my victory. What was next? Hey Revenge Tempest fans. Sophie's journey from heartbreak to boss is epic. Loved it? Smash that subscribe button and join our crew. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from.